Hello everybody, we are back for part 2 of 10 creators who inspired my creative journey, smallest to larger, a subscriber count. I put my phone in do not disturb modes, hopefully nothing will interrupt. I have taken my stronger inhaler, so hopefully my cough won't interrupt. I'm still working on my double space spread, although I think that I'm going to get this page done today. This is taking me 2 weeks. I have some done on the right side. Then I have left the book stall and the fruit stand. So apology for the shadow. I'm right-handed. There's a window to my right. There's also a window in front of me. And I have a ring light. I still, I may ask ChatGPT about what's the best setup. Sorry, I'm making sure I don't roll over my phone cord for this, but I figured we'll jump right back in after I was rudely cut off last night. So we get to number 4. My cat's wandering around underneath me. Hey, Momo. Well, I told her we'll go outside when I'm done. What am I working on? The restaurant pole, the shadow. Okay. So, well, not foolproof. All right, number 4, Tripoli Arts. She has 2.17 subscribers. Why am I saying subscriber names? I guess because I want to encourage people to subscribe to them if they like them. Although I learned, I think it was Zuvira Arts that said, if you subscribe to them but don't watch them, it hurts the algorithm. So only subscribe to them if you like them. So yeah. So what do I admire about Tara? She is an artist who bridges painting and coloring. I think out of all the colorists I know, she probably does that the best. She can cross the bridge between the two. There are other creators who I didn't make the list just because, how can I name 10? She's not the only one who does it, but I think she does it really well. She gets into really helpful discussions about paper and materials. Okay, hold on. I'm going to work on the bottle corks next. Where is my shallow yellow? Oh my gosh. I put it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Now, how is this shallow yellow? Brute Ferner. Her streams or live streams are always relaxed and welcoming. Let's see, what else? Gosh, that shadow's bothering me more than anybody else. Let me see if does that help? Yeah, that helps a little. She inspires both creativity and learning. I always, there's sayings like stick with the winners. I like to hang out with creators who I feel are ahead of me. I can learn from them. She's approachable. Yeah. I think there's more that I could say, but I think I like it. I mean, this is just an introduction to these creators, and if you're interested in them, then I will put the links in the descriptions. Still not doing the fancy captions yet, just because I don't have time yet, but we are getting there. We are getting there. At least school's over. Okay, number 5, Happy Catastrophe. I think she's like one of my current favorite of my most recent. As I've gone along my coloring journey, there's been other colors who I've hung out with for a period of time, and right now Happy Catastrophe is one of those ones that when I'm going to watch her, you know, her videos, I know I'm going to settle in and I'm going to be enjoying myself because she doesn't do live streams. So what do I admire about her? She's really courageous in her experimentation. I've done a buddy color or two with her, and she's like, she really does mix media. I think part of the thing is she can't use colored pencils all that much because of hand issues, and so she will put anything on a page. I mean, she inspires me to pick up books I wouldn't normally pick up. You know, I've really yet to branch out into the extraordinariness of her experimentation, because I'm pretty fixated on colored pencils right now, but she has a lot of great ideas. All right, I'm going to be moving on to coloring this felt hat next. Okay. Let's see, what else about Happy Catastrophe? She's always trying new techniques. I mentioned that. Where's my olive yellow? Oh, this tip isn't perfect, but I don't want to do the electric sharpener. I'm like totally multitasking. I'm looking at my book, I'm looking at my pencils, I'm looking at my notes. And I'm also looking at my coloring notes. So it's just kind of like, okay, how many things can we do at once? Yeah, her lifestyle is inspiring. Like, she lives out in a cabin in the woods in Oregon with her dog and her chickens and on her land, and that's always a lifestyle I wanted. I did live in rural Washington for a year when I was in a national service program. Because I grew up in San Francisco, it was kind of culture shock. So I don't know how much, yeah, like I don't know how. I had ideas about that kind of lifestyle. You know, she talks about her health challenges, which is helpful to me. Like, she talks about like brain fog and brain fuzziness, and since I have, you know, since I deal with that too, she kind of normalizes that. You know, I have to really, and she works, you know, she's a Buddhist nun. I have to mask really hard in my work, you know, and she's just open about it. When she's open about her struggles or her issues, it kind of gives me permission to like relax and say, yeah, I deal with similar things for different reasons. What else? Yeah, I love her videos. She doesn't do live, but it's like a treat. I always look forward to doing it. She does these like coloring in the cabin. I have one saved to watch later. It's interesting, you know, she also, I mean, she does it all. She colors, she makes videos. I think, you know, if she can make videos, so can I. Yeah, that's a bad shadow, and I'm really sorry. I can't fix that right now. Where am I? I need my brown olive. So that pretty much sums up Happy Catastrophe. Again, I think I've seen her mention on a few other favorite or whatever creators. So if you haven't heard of her before, go check her out. And yeah. So the next one, Axik Fumbles, Annika at 4.52 subscribers. I've heard a lot of you mention her. It was kind of funny doing this video. I'm like, should I not mention people who other people have mentioned? Because then this other person's going to be getting a lot of, I don't know, bandwidth. And do I want to, you know, call attention to less known creators? But, I mean, just because someone's popular doesn't mean they're not a person too. And just because someone's well loved doesn't mean that I can't also share what that person means to me. It's harder, honestly, for me to share my opinion or appreciation about someone who like the community raves about, because I don't know. That's a whole different subject. But anyways, Axik is on my list. So what do I admire about her? Well, first of all, her welcoming community. If I make mistakes today, it's because I got less than 5 hours of sleep last night. She makes viewers feel included. I mean, I don't know how she does it, like streams and chats and colors. I haven't tried it yet myself. Maybe it's not as hard as I think it is, but she does it all and teaches. She does live streams and she does videos. She does, she shares her sketchbook. She's also an artist as well as her coloring. I really like her technique focused content. She has these really great series about techniques to use with acrylic markers and acrylic gel pens. And she did this video where she showed like what she had on her desk. And I really like that nerdy, geeky technique stuff. It really helps me. You know, I've gotten things based on her recommendations. Like, let's see if I have it accessible. Like this water bottle, which is like a medical thing, but you can use it to fill your water brushes, which my water brushes are over there, but you all know what a water brush is. I mean, that's, for example, something that I learned about from Annika. She definitely experiments. A lot of people say she's really well known for her water techniques, and she does great things with watercolor. I think I got some curated watercolor sets from Temu because of her, like some Chinese watercolor sets. I see a spot here I missed. I'll have to get that later because I have my pencils laid out for the section I'm doing right now, and I am not going to go back in there and get other ones. So yeah, I'm juggling like 4 different things right now. Yeah, I find her educational, inspiring. She's also a mom. I like her sense of humor. I just, you know, her dog, whatever. It's cool. She's a very popular colorist. Chatter days, come one, come all. Saturdays at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. The next one, number 7, is Colored by Maia. She has 11,000 subscribers. She is phenomenal. She's really a trendsetter. So what do I admire about her? First, hold on. I'm gonna color the bear's clothing. Sorry, I gotta keep myself on track with a few things. So she has a strong artistic background. She's shared, you know, she's shown us artwork that her dad has done, and her parents have given her art supplies, which is really cool. Like her dad did a mural or painted a wall, and you can tell she has an artistic background. And that ironically, when someone has an artistic background, that actually makes me relax, because then I feel like I can geek out over that kind of stuff, and like I'm not going to intimidate anyone. She's another great one for mixed media and creative risk taking. She also introduced me to new colorists. For example, like tempera paint sticks are mine here. I got these because I'm an after school teacher. We had these in our class, and I got these in neon because I like neon. And they haven't been touched because I haven't had time. The school year just ended. Well, Colored by Maia happened to do a couple of videos on using paint sticks. And then she said, you know, she learned out about it from October Cat, who's a Japanese colorist who has closed captions. So I went from Colored by Maia to October Cat. You know, I have some ideas. Then I learned from October Cat that, you know, she'll do these paint sticks first, and then she'll follow them with acrylic markers. And I actually won a set of acrylic markers from Woomer that I haven't used yet, and that would be a perfect way to use them. I don't see them anywhere, so I can't show you, but that's another video. And colored pencils. So this is all, you know, something I learned from Colored by Maia, also from October Cat. Yeah, she totally introduces me to new books and creators. I mean, that's one of the reasons. I mean, I watch her. she does like coloring updates because she introduces new books to me, new creators. I mean, she's definitely unique, you know. She's like, how do I say this? I won't say she's on the fringes, but she pushes the envelope. So she's not doing like the super popular or well-known coloring books. Like all of her coloring books she uses tend to have like an artistic background. You know, the illustrators, and it's just, I feel really at home with that. She's encouraging and approachable, you know. She and I, you know, talk about materials or whatever. Like she understands that I come from an acrylic painting background, and it's kind of like, you know, like she uses that too. So it's kind of like a conversation between equals as opposed to someone who hasn't painted, who may be a bit intimidated by that. So for me, that helps me relax, because it's like, oh, here's another creator, you know, kind of spanning the bridge between like art and coloring. You know, so I really appreciate that about her. And yeah, I said she she thinks like an artist, not just a colorist. Like she brings, you know, she like my mom was an artist, you know. So when you have artistic parents and you have that, and you know, my parents gave me art supplies, and when you bring it into your coloring, it's like a different approach. Like people do coloring for a lot of different things. I also admire her because she's a stay-at-home mom and she has kids, and she still manages to do these incredible videos. She has like great nail polish and bracelets, and you know, I want to start doing that. Like I hope to up my game over the summer, but she's someone who I find all around encouraging. Okay, let me get my next pencil. Okay, so the next one, number 8, is Barbara Colors. A lot of you probably know her, although I haven't seen her mentioned in any of the videos I've seen so far. But she's another one. She has 17.3 subscribers. What I admire about her, she's the first one I went to learn about polychromos as a Prismacolor user. She kind of broke the ice for me on polychromos. I remember this one color along in The Rooms of Wonder by Johanna Basford. You know, she introduced me, you know, you can mix Prismacolor and polychromos. You could put Posca on top, just great things. She did another color long in Rita Berman's Asian coloring book I learned a lot from. Her color longs teach me new techniques. She even, I think, has gone on to create her own coloring books or coloring technique books. I think she's been featured by Kirby Rosanis. Like, she did this really cool astronaut mask coloring, and I forget what book it's in, but it's like, I don't like the word famous. I don't know how to describe it. Let's just say that her talent has been recognized. Yeah, she also got me comfortable using Posca paint pens. I mean, I know everybody uses these, you know, for highlights and all that, but like, you don't do that. Like painting, I came to painting with brushes. I mean, my acrylic paint supplies and all that stuff is over in my kitchen, but like this, you know, this is not a painting supply, an acrylic painting, and she got me comfortable using that. All right, I need to do the Bear's Buttons metallic silver. What else? Yeah, she's a really great teacher and demonstrator. I go to her streams to learn. You know, and it's funny, she and I had this conversation one time. Like, I was trying to keep up with her, and she's like, Alonso, like, why don't you like watch back later? You know, I mean, I can't, like, I was trying to learn as I do and keep up with her. I was doing it, but you know, I didn't have to push myself that hard. Yeah, she expanded my confidence with different materials. Just great all-around colorist, creator. Can't recommend her enough. I am at 19 minutes here. I need to get my cobalt blue for, what am I doing next? Oh yeah, I'm doing the peacock feathers on the hat. Okay, so number 9 is Pamela's Passion for Pencils, and she has 42.1 subscribers. So what can I say about her? She's one of the first creators I discovered in my coloring journey. She taught me Prismacolor layering techniques. Like, that's why I came to adult coloring, because I wanted to learn how to color my own drawings. I've been drawing since high school. Well, I've been drawing way before high school, but you know, my friends and I, we would sit around and draw and like use Prismacolor. And you know, I noticed some friends of mine were better at layering than others, or me, and I always wanted to be able to like use colored pencils like them. And that's initially why I came to adult coloring, because I wanted to up my colored pencil game. And Pamela is like one of the first people I started learning from. She does great organized reviews, swatches, and tutorials. Like, y'all, if you don't know me, then you don't know, but I kind of have rules about swatching. Like, this is my swatch sheet from Teresa Ivanova coloring community for my brute fooners. I think I'm the one that coined swatching as a first date. You know, Annika talks about getting to know them. You know, and Pamela does that. She has an Etsy store. She has swatch charts. She does reviews, you know, tutorials. I mean, she's just an all-around amazing content creator that I have learned a lot from. She helps normalize coloring as a serious creative hobby, which I really appreciate, because when I you know, crossed the bridge from drawing to coloring, like, you know, people like my daughter were like, why are you doing that, Mom? You can draw. And, well, why not? You know, she draws too. I mean, that's kind of the creators that help me the most, is creators who can draw too and choose to color, because I kind of need that moral support. She does that. What's another thing? Yeah, she shares product reviews. She does hauls. Like, she's taking us along with her to do hauls. See this shadow? I'm not going to obsess on it, like, because, you know, the coloring is secondary, but it's bugging me. Can I turn it up? I don't want to change the angle of the ring light. Okay, you can't turn it up anymore. What about the mode? Nope. Is that less? We're just going to deal with it. You can see me being fussy and finicky. So yeah, Pamela's taking us along on hauls to, like, I don't know if it was Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and showing us, you know, things she's bought. You know, she introduced me to stickles. At first, I may have shared about this before, but I was really resistant to using glitter and coloring, because I was transitioning over from acrylic landscape painting and abstract expressionism and impressionism. And you don't use glitter in those mediums. And you know, I think I may have ruffled a few feathers at my adverse reactions to glitter. And, you know, I've come a long way since then. It's been a few years since my painting classes. And yeah, Pamela introduced me to stickles as accents. So yeah, she played a major role in the beginning of my adult coloring journey. And the last one I'm going to share, at least for this round, because I'm going to do a second one, like, these are inspiring colorists or creators. The last one is number 10, My Colorful Country Life. She is the most popular at 42.2 subscribers. Most of you probably know her. She created a color palette system recently. So yeah, she's really well known. I am going to transition over here finally start doing these books. I'm gonna have to get my pencils. So I'm gonna be putting my pencils back and getting them out as I talk about her, because that's where I'm at in my coloring process. I'm gonna get a different set of pencils out. So pardon the set change. So she created color conversion charts, you know, like, for example, this is her latest version. This is before, like, right before she did the color palette thing on, like, a website. This is her colored pencil conversion chart. Like, it has Prismacolor, Polychromos, Luminance, Black Widow, Castle Art, Arteza, Brutfiner, I'm working with a Brute Forner 180. To me, it's kind of fun. Like, it helps me think about color. When I'm looking at this, it helps me think like, pale yellow and Brute Forner is cream and Prismacolor. Chromaflow and the Holbein. I mean, I love this kind of stuff. Like, some people are like, too complicated, whatever, I don't want to deal. Like, that's cool, but you know what I'm saying? For me, I mean, this is actually like pleasure. Okay. What else about her? She does real-time color alongs. I haven't followed one of those yet. I have been watching. She actually has a color along for one of the the pages in Erie's Romantic Country 2 that I didn't get. Most of you probably know this, but this is the book for Jess Coloring Collab. Let me see. It's the Treehouse. Is it this one? Yeah, like this was my second choice. I did not get this one, but she has a color along using Albrecht Dürer, and I plan to follow it at some point. So she also has one for my Dimensions book. Is it here? She has one for the Dimensions page in here, the dragon page. Like, let me see if I colored it. I don't think I colored it, but this would be an example of a page that she had colored. Sorry for the rapid flipping. I don't know where that dragon's page is because I don't have it bookmarked. See, you get to see how my mind works. Is my mind kind of obsessive? Yeah, so she did a color along. That's Momo jingling of this page, which is uncolored. So, I plan to do it at some point. What else about her? Let me keep going. Pencil and paper compatibility testing. That's how I learned to do Brute Forners for this book. She had a video about like the best colored pencils for Eriy. And I happen to have the Brute Forner 180s. It's the same thing I did for, let me see if my Fragile Worlds is here or if I put it somewhere else. Let's see. I'm gonna make a noise. I'm reaching into my coloring basket next to my cart. And I have my Brute Forner tin down there lid, which is making noise because sometimes I need to find a color by number, and this is not number ordered. This is like pencil number ordered. Let me see if my if my Fragile Worlds is here. If it's not, which one is this? No, that's World Within Worlds. I would show you, but that page is up. Anyway, she showed, for Kirby Rosanna's, the winner was Chromaflow. Those really helped me. Yeah, I mean, she saves me hours of research. I've heard some people say, like, well, it's just her opinion, and, it's better to find your own, or they'd rather find their own, which is fine. But, like, as an after-school teacher, as a mom, as a pet owner, who has other responsibilities, if she can help me achieve my goal quicker, then I'm going to take advantage of it. She's a trusted resource for materials and techniques. She's well known. She also has a Facebook group, which I belong to and post my work to. She's created a great community, and she's very generous with knowledge and experimentation. Like, I think she's a full-time content creator. I mean, she lives in rural Australia, I think. I mean, very admirable lifestyle, beautiful woman. I mean, her makeup and hair is on point. It's kind of amazing, actually. So I think that brings it to a close. This was 10 creators I admire. It's not a definitive list. It's, like I said, when I first saw this hashtag, I mean, I was disturbed because I'm like, how can I pick 10, and what if people feel left out? And I had to watch like a bunch of videos, and then I mentioned this in the first one, art by Ali, where she interpreted it as inspiring, and also Piggy Pens, who created this hashtag, coloring tag, encouraged people to define it in their own way. So I'm not quite clear on what my second one will be. I was thinking about encouraging and supportive, because there are some people that I was not able to mention here that I want to give a shout out to. So look for that to come. Where did I put my remote? Oh my gosh. My brain is so tired. Last night was the end of the school year. Also, I do have this cough that kept me up, so I got like 4 hours and 45 minutes of sleep, but I managed to do this. I'm still managing to do, or aiming to do, 1 video a day. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. I'll tag the creators in the description. Sorry if this was discombobulated, disjointed, scattered, whatever. This is me. Okay, have a good day, everyone, or afternoon, night, whenever you happen to watch this. All right, bye-bye.